the 100 to 400 f4.5 internal zoom lens, the newest G Master lens in the Sony lineup. I have it right here, and it's attached to the Sony a7R6 that was also announced today, and I also have a video about that camera on my channel, so make sure to watch that as well. It's almost 30 minutes long, and it also has many shots with this lens. But yeah, this video is only about this lens, and yeah, as you can see, it's pretty big, but yeah, no surprise, it's f4.5 over the entire zoom range, internal zoom. It's definitely a little bit bigger than the original 100 to 400. That is already quite old, but to be honest, I still really like it. And I really like the 100 to 400 millimeter range. I use it a lot, actually. So I'm very happy with this kind of upgrade, you should say. But I'm not sure if this is the upgrade for the original 100 to 400. Because, yeah, let's face it, it's a new lens, it's a different lens, and it's also maybe for different people. This lens is definitely a little bit bigger and a little bit heavier as well. The original was around 1.4 kilogram. This one is 1.8 kilograms, so 400 grams bigger. Again, no surprise because of the constant aperture across the zoom range. Let's take a quick look at the lens and talk about the specifications. So yeah, internal zoom, it has this big ring that you can use for the internal zoom. It has this switch right here, that bit of a strange position, I had to look for that, but you can smoothen and tighten that ring here. Then it has all the usual buttons that you know from other G Master lenses right here. Yeah, the focus, the AF, MF, the image stabilization, all that stuff. And then it has two of these hooks that you can attach a cord or something, attach it to your body for extra security, I guess. And yeah, it has 3 custom buttons, I think here at the end, and it has a drop-in filter. So you can put a filter like in front here of the lens. So yeah, it feels very solid. You can, of course, very smooth turn this ring. Then some more specifications. It has 4 new XD linear motors. It has 11 aperture blades, and the minimum focus distance at 100 millimeter is 0.64 meters, and at 400 millimeter, I think it's 1.5 meter. So it's pretty close. You can take some nice close-ups of it. So I have this lens for a couple of weeks already, and I took it to multiple locations. I did different things with it. I took it to Tulip Garden. I shot some wild tulips. I photographed birds. I took it for some landscape. So big variety of stuff. So yeah, let's dive into the shots. Starting with this beautiful tulip garden, and I was photographing different tulips here. Here are Rembrandt tulips, which are very special tulips, but this first session is just to show the bokeh of this lens. And let me press I here to pull up the settings. So this is shot at 400 millimeter f4.5, and most of the shots that you're gonna see, they are at 4.5. Yeah, just to show you what it's capable of at that aperture. And here, 400 millimeter f4.5, you can see it's very dreamy. The background is very dreamy. And you can take some beautiful close-ups with it. Here you can see very well those bokeh balls in the background. Yeah, they are, yeah, I think they look very nice. So this lens was actually great for these portraits of these Rembrandt tulips, 400 millimeter. All the shots are handheld, by the way, because they were also moving these tulips. Yeah, I took some, yeah, I'm very happy with the shots that I took here. This one I was at 300 millimeter f4.5. And then there was a part where the sprinklers were on. It was pretty cool. So I actually went there to photograph tulips with the water drops. And also the lens got wet a little bit, my camera as well. Really, no big deal. But yeah, you can really see that bokeh off the water here. Shot very fast, 1/4000th of a second at 400 millimeter f4.5. And yeah, we can see here, yeah, all that bokeh is just very nice. Keep in mind, all these shots are done with the a7R6. Most of the shots in this whole video are done with the a7R6. I also took some with the a7R5. Yeah, they're all JPEGs, as you can see, because I couldn't open the RAW files. Yeah, So yeah, I really like this one. You have a lot of drops and also very tiny ones, and just yeah, very nice rendering of the background and the foreground as well. Very dreamy 400 millimeter at f4.5. This is a standing one. And I noticed something interesting, like the bokeh bowl. So this is wide open and this is the water. And then you can kind of see they're kind of swirly. They're kind of swirling around the center. Also, if you look at this one and you look closely, you kind of see that as well. Look at the edges. It's kind of swirling around the center. So yeah, that's an interesting bokeh effect, I would say, with water mainly, because yeah, if we look at this kind of stuff, we focus very close. Of course, the bokeh bowls are very dreamy and soft, but with something like this, and this is something I noticed, which is, yeah, to be honest, I quite like it. It looks pretty cool, a little bit artistic. Here we have some other tulips, like inverted tulips, we can call them. They're officially not tulips, but we see very nice foreground blur at 4.5 at 180 millimeter. So this is not at 400, but nice foreground, bokeh and background as well. Nice fall off here and here as well. So this one, nice tulip with, I framed it through other tulips so that the surroundings are very out of focus. So it was framed through other of these tulips. And I did a little crop of it as well. No problem with a A7R6 big resolution. Then the sunset. So I have some beautiful light here. The sun was setting. I really like this shot with, looks like kind of a parent with her child. Beautiful Rembrandt tulips, beautiful textures. And this one I really liked as well. So you kind of have an idea here about the bokeh, the softness of the lens wide open. This video is sponsored by, well, no one really. So if you want to support this channel, support my photography, I do a lot of teaching. Check out my academy, albertdrosacademy.com. I teach you how I edit my work, how I approach photography, and much more. Also, I have this big, beautiful coffee table book available. It has 10 years of my photos from the Netherlands. So if you want to have my work in your living room, definitely check out this book. I ship all around the world. Let's go back to the video. So then I continued my tulips, not in a garden, but in Mouche wild tulips. It was very special to be there to photograph the wild tulips growing in the wild. There were a lot, and it was definitely a nice experience. And I also took this lens for some shots. We are getting to a little bit more landscape-oriented images. So here, beautiful landscape in Turkey where a lot of tulips were growing. And here we can also see the sharpness. This was at f9, and especially on the A7R6, we can see the shepherd here with all his sheep, the dog here. And the detail everywhere is just, yeah, it's very good. So here you can see that same place. I came back in the evening with some amazing light. This one was shot with the A7R5 and beautiful red field of tulips in the wild with the mountains as a backdrop. And yeah, the surrounding landscapes with the tulips, it was just incredible. So here, I opened up the aperture and focused on the background to get a little bit of a dreamy atmosphere in the foreground. Yeah, so beautiful sunset. So here the same, opened it completely at 100 millimeter. And yeah, this tractor came here. Do you call that tractor? I think so. And these kids came to have a look, and it was an amazing sunset. So all in all, it looks just, yeah, it looks very nice. And here we can see the details here. A Fiat, yeah, Fiat, a very old one, I think. Very nice details, also wide open. So this was shot a little bit higher. ISO 1000. And yeah, this was from that same session. The sun was setting, and yeah, I tried to take some portraits here of those wild Mouche tulips. 300 millimeter, also wide open. This is another one. It was quite special to see those wild tulips and then those, yeah, like it almost looked like volcanoes, but spectacular mountains in the background. So here I shot at f14 actually to still be able to see some definition in the mountains in the background. And then, yeah, I came back to my hotel and I thought, okay, let's do a sharpness test with this lens, because my hotel view had a little bit of an overview over the city with lots of details going on. So I put the camera on the tripod, the A7R5, by the way. So these are raw files, unedited, no edits. And yeah, I just started to do some testing. So here I am shooting at 190 millimeter, wide open. And let's take a look at the sharpness, especially, yeah, the center is very sharp. If we look here, yeah, even closer, we can, of course, we can read everything, every little thing. But also the edges, look at that. All the letters on the edges, basically the entire edge here. And also at the bottom, go to here, the left edge. There's just no, the sharpness is the same everywhere, I would say. The whole edge is very sharp, the top, the bottom, the left, the right, at f4.5. So even if you shoot wide open, it's just very sharp. So here, 100 millimeter wide open. Let's take a look at it again. Here we have letters. There is no fall off of sharpness here on the right. We see all the tiles, all the details, the letters here at the bottom as well. There is no fall off of sharpness on the edges wide open. So I immediately concluded that this lens is very sharp, wide open from edge to edge. So here we are at f8. I mean, yeah, we can do the same, but obviously is gonna be very sharp everywhere if it was already very sharp wide open. So of course, maybe there is a very tiny increase of sharpness, but it's super sharp wide open everywhere in the frame basically. So yeah, let's go to 400 millimeter. This is at 4.5. So yeah, let's go to 400 millimeter here, wide open, f4.5, and well, basically it's the same thing. We can just see there is no loss of detail anywhere, even on these outer edges here. There is really no loss of detail. So also at 400 millimeter, very sharp everywhere. Yeah, we can check it at f8 at 400 millimeter. Of course, it might be a little bit sharp. I cannot see the difference. I just think it's very sharp everywhere, basically. So then I came home to the Netherlands and there was a full moon. So I thought, okay, let's try to shoot the full moon with this lens and an extender. So I put the 1.4x on it. Sony says that with the extenders, there is no noticeably loss of sharpness on this lens. So yeah, this is my shot here of the moon. I shot it with the A7R5. So all the way at 560 millimeter with the 1.4x. So at f8, it's a single shot. And well, yeah, let's take a look. I mean, the detail, this is with the converter, but yeah, the detail looks to me very good. I have done a lot of moon shots, and I think the detail looks good here. But yeah, it's always difficult to judge with those moon shots because, of course, we have some atmospheric distortions, some ripples in the air that, yeah, that can cause some unsharpness, you could say. But yeah, all in all, to me this looks good. And also, yeah, if you look at the original, so I shoot them very underexposed, the shots. This is the original, and this is with A7R5. And I can pull up the shadows, and then I can have this. This was the edit. So I always try to do them in one shot, these images. I mean, of course, you can take multiple exposures, but come on, it's no fun. So I shot it dark, and I know my camera, I know that I can pull up those shadows and get the detail back. So this is the shot and this is the edit. So looks good. And then there was a building there that was a little bit before the moon. This is with the converter, and I thought, okay, let's check some sharpness here. So yeah, this is that building, and you can see if you look closely to the lines of the building, yeah, you see a little bit of ripply because of the atmospheric distortions. But all in all, it looks to me very sharp. There's one guy here standing at his balcony. So yeah, I can see everything here. And also there was a building here on the right. We can see all those tiles also on the edges. So the sharpness with the converter, the 1.4x, is indeed looks to me very good. So for this kind of cases, also for wildlife, you could say it can be very good also with the extender. But of course, you lose a little bit of light. So let's talk about some wildlife. I also took the lens to photograph some birds. So I photographed some birds in my area around my house. You can also see that in the A7R6 video. So this is close to my house. This is shot 300mm f4.5. It was very close sitting to me, this bird, and we can see here also very nice detail here. This was with the A7R6 again, by the way. You can see it's JPEGs. So yeah, I photographed these grottos. We call them here. It's actually the national bird of the Netherlands, and we can see, yeah, that's very nice detail. Again, all wide open with this lens. It absolutely looks beautiful. Then the sun was setting, and I took some very nice shots with this light behind of this goose here, and also of this beautiful, cute sheep. So this was at 100mm f4.5, and yeah, I had them very nicely in a row, very cute. And then I took the lens also to local farm. I also did this with my A1 Mark II video, you can see. And they have a lot of cute birds there. Some of them, they were injured when they were young, so they're keeping them and taking care of them, and sometimes inviting photographers to photograph there. These were not, these were just wild there, but you can see here little duckies. And I wanted to put this shot here also. Again, you can see the bokeh, the sharpness, 200mm here. Very cute. And then these birds, they were, off the farm. This little cute owl, it was a little baby. 400mm f4.5. What a cute little owl this is. Yeah, just putting in the grass there, a little baby. But you can see the sharpness just looks very good here. Wide open, f4.5. Yeah. Then this owl here at 400mm 4.5, very nice background. He was just sitting on some kind of wheel here. He went there himself. Apparently he liked to sit there. But yeah, he also went to some other spots here. You can see kind of the bokeh here in the sky at 200mm. So this is at 200 f4.5. Still very clean and relaxing bokeh, you could say. And also this one I really liked when it was flying. And then we also talk about autofocus. The autofocus speed with the A7R6 is just, it didn't miss anything. It just, the whole sequence, 30 frames per second, it just nailed the autofocus every time, almost every time on the eye. And this is wide open 300mm at a shutter speed of 4,000ths of a second. And just to show you, this was the original. So I cropped it in quite a lot, which is no problem with the A7R6. I still have 5,000 pixels on the long end here. This is from the same sequence, so this exactly the same settings, and you can just see very nice rendering here. I really liked this shot when the owl was just leaving from the branch here, and it had this amazing pose, just fitting in between those branches and just looking at me. And here you can see also, so beautiful, beautiful on the eyes, wide open, looking very nice. This one I really like, but here you can really see, so this is taken at 300mm, but the background, look, the background is a little bit, how to say, a little bit messy. So in this case, it's still 4.5. There are faster lenses out there. If I shot this with a 2.8, for example, then the background would have been beautiful and this shot would have been absolutely beautiful. Right now, I'm not a big fan of this shot because of the busy background. So just wanted to show you that with busy backgrounds, keep in mind, it's f4.5. It's not 2.8. So then the sharpness, some more sharpness tests. So here we have a beautiful owl. I really like, this is one of my favorite owls actually. And this I shot it at f11. ISO 640 f11 with the A7R6, and I did a crop of it. I did some slight editing on the crop as well, and look at how amazing this crop is. Well, I really like it. It's a super beautiful crop of the face of the owl, and actually I did a print of this just to see how the sharpness holds up. And I do some preparations, of course. I did some sharpening for the print, but the print on A3 Plus, it looks really good. So I do some printing at home and I actually have the print here. So let me carefully get the print here. And this is the print right here. It's very beautiful owl, and I think I'm gonna give this to my daughter. She really likes owls. So that wraps up all the shots. I showed you lots of different stuff: landscapes, a close-up of flowers, animals, fast-moving subjects. So I hope you kind of saw what this lens is capable of and can decide if this lens is for you or not. It's a G Master lens. It's definitely a little bit bigger and heavier than the original. So if you still have the original and are looking for an upgrade, well, Sony often doesn't make it easy for us. I think the lens is very nice. I'm sure that many people will enjoy this lens, and I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and make sure to watch the A7R6 video as well. I see you in the next one.